So I'm going to show you some behind the scenes video of us resawing some of this black walnut wood and the actual process that took place to actually get it to the snare stand. I was so excited when I got this call about getting this black walnut tree that was going to be falling down, and just was half of it was rotting. It was right beside the house, so we needed to take it down because if half of it was dead, it's, you know, eventually all of it was going to be dead. None of it would be any good at that point. So when I got the call, I immediately jumped onto it and broke out the old trusty chainsaw and started getting on it. So I was so excited about getting this black walnut tree that I actually walked off and forgot my ladder. So this is kind of what we had to do to kind of makeshift do for what I had. Seems safe to me. So, you ever wish you could go back in time to pay more attention to something? Well, here's one of those examples. So you remember this video here that we took back, I don't know, about a year ago? Yeah. I totally should have tried to remember what he was saying about notching a tree, how to make it fall where you want it to fall. So just to be honest here, I was a little bit intimidated about cutting this tree down, but I did not want to let Ronnie know that I was scared. Keep it in mind, I'm no lumberjack, I am a drum builder. If I could give anybody advice, it would be probably to stick what you know. I should listen to my own advice sometimes. I didn't want to spend those $1,000 on paying somebody to come do something that I could do myself. So I remember this part right here pretty good, which I think this is the last part I remember Jason was showing me that day. One thing about it, I just hate asking for help. I guess I get that from my dad. He would never ask me, he would just do it. So if I only knew what was fixing to happen right here when I was chopping this notch out, it is stinking crazy. Yeah. Yeah, I was a little bit embarrassed. I can admit that. Sometimes I'll just jump on to do something and won't take time to think it all the way out. So Ronnie was on the tractor putting tension on the tree as I was cutting it. Yeah, right that spot right there, I should have went more to that side, and that was the fall. This black walnut wood is super hard. I mean, listen to me. Good advice here. Just because you have a chainsaw doesn't mean you should start cutting down trees. Do not try this at home, please. So what happened was, when it started to fall, I didn't cut the back side out enough, and it twisted and it rolled really, really far, way farther than I thought it was going to be able to reach. I mean, I had my trailer parked pretty good distance, and it still hit it right there. Yeah, I was pretty pissed at this point. As you can see right there, my bent steering wheel. Yeah. So, do what we gotta do to be able to get the tree on. I mean, I'm not gonna take it to the shop to get it fixed for that. We're just gonna tough through it. What's crazy about this wood is my tractor would barely pick it up. I mean, these logs are just insanely heavy. It wouldn't even lift it up all the way.
shit off myself. You do that.
One down.
I love how Michael's sitting there videoing. Get a grip.
So the tractor was at the other location, so we definitely didn't have a way to unload the tractor. I don't have two tractors, I only have one. So we basically had to use this method right here, the roll-off method, which is one of my favorite ways to unroll logs off the trailer.
Atta boys.
And this is why we offer free gym memberships to anybody that works for Outlaw Drums.
What you think, Andy? Great. I think I'm having me a seat. Oh my God.
So the anticipation for cutting one of these logs was killing me. So literally, we just ran the rolled one of the logs over there to the sawmill and slabbed up a piece. And this is kind of what happened. This is where we was at with it. So after we slabbed a few pieces off, I had to take some time to calibrate my resaw mill so we were cut perfectly straight. I mean, yeah, you can go through all this wood and all this trouble to cut this wood, but the bottom line is if it's not stacked right, it's definitely not going to be dried straight. And it's going to be trying to work with wood that's bent, crooked, and twisted, and all that stuff. And you know, you just really don't want that. So I definitely take the time to stack it straight after we cut it. The anticipation of not knowing what the next piece is going to bring is what really drives me to do this right here. Because each time you slab these pieces, it's just like revealing a hidden treasure. And it's kind of mapped out right there, created by Mother Earth. I love it. Also knowing that I just saved this wood from destruction and from the landfill really makes my day. To know that it was just going to be pushed away to the side. But we came to the rescue 1 month later. The way I stack walnut is I like to kind of air stack it for a little bit to kind of get it to breathe some. The key to this stuff really working out for the long term is it needs to dry slow. You don't want to dry it too fast. So what I did, I put it outside for about a month, and once it stays outside for about a month, I'm gonna put it in the kiln to get it to dry good. And it's been about a month outside in the elements. Hey girls.
Hey, Michael, what are you doing?
I'm making a video.
Why?
Of what?
Talking about my wood.
Oh. And what is that?
That is something we'll talk about when you turn 35. But yeah, we're gonna get this wood here drying, and we're gonna put it in the kiln, let it sit for another month. I like to dry it really, really slow because when you do these drums out of this wood here, I like to get the moisture content as low as I could possibly get it. Somewhere in the neighborhood around 8 to 6%. Right now, I think it's at 16. This black walnut's 1 month later, again.
I know about a month to get it good and dry. I'm just gonna check the moisture content on it, see what's going on here. Let's see here. Okay. My moisture content is showing 6%. So that board right there is ready to mill. It's basically what it's doing is measuring the water content in the wood. Because if you use wood that has a high moisture content, the wood will actually kind of move and it'll kind of shrink and all that stuff right there. So I've got my little kiln right here. We're just pulling out some wood that I sawed up, and we're getting ready to mill it.
So see you in the next video. Next one we're going to cut the segments and start gluing up the rings together.